Welcome to Adorn by Jennifer. We are having a snow day today, and so I am making a big crock pot of soup, so I thought might as well join you in on the fun. And this is a recipe I've actually done with you before, but if you haven't seen it, I thought I would have you join in on the fun. And if you have seen it, maybe you want a refresher, maybe you learned some new tips and tricks. So I've already started the process because that started before I took my shower, and I didn't think you'd want to hear all the chopping noises, but I saved it a little bit. You're going to hear the cat even meowing. So you're hearing the wash machine going, you're hearing the real deal because the house is full today. But I've already chopped the potato because I wanted it to start percolating. I've already put in a can of soup, or a can of the tomatoes, whatever those things are. I can't talk. I was so tired yesterday and in pain, and I still am tired and in pain. So you're just going to get what you get. But petite diced tomato, whatever they are, tomatoes, those things. And I get the generic kind. I just got the Walmart generic. And so what I'm going to do, it's already steaming. I use a crock pot. If you're ever going to a wedding, crock pots are a wonderful gift because 13 years later, I'm still using my crock pots and they're wonderful. I do use a liner. I know it's not great for the environment, but it does save water because I don't have to wash much, and it is the best invention ever. So I highly recommend those. So my crock pot's already lined. I have it off to the side because it's not the prettiest because I use it all the time. I already have a can of petite diced tomatoes. The DeWitt family does not like huge chunky. At least the girls in the DeWitt family do not like, I can't talk today, so just give me grace. We girls don't like huge chunky tomatoes, so I use the petite diced ones, and I use a generic because we just do. We like the inexpensive, so I already have a can in there. I already have my potatoes. This recipe calls for 1 diced potato, and I actually used 10 potatoes because potatoes stretch your volume and your budget. I don't know what is going on with this hair too. And since I'm feeding my family, I'm touching my hair. If I was feeding other people, actually I might be inviting people over for dinner, so I will try not to touch my hair. My daughter just looked at me like, what? We're inviting? I don't know. We might. Who knows? At our house, you just never know. We often invite people over last minute. So the next thing it calls for is celery. And this celery, last time I didn't know if a stalk was 1 stem or it was the bunch. And I think the jury decided, see, my memory is already forgetting, that 1 stalk is actually 1 stem. Is that what we decided, y'all? I see a name popped up, and I hope you don't mind me calling you out, but I see Nicole, you're watching. Do you know, is a stem, my memory already fails me. Is a stalk 1 stem, or is it the whole bunch? See, I can't remember already. The other thing is this is one of my favorite things. My very favorite purchase of all times is my vacuum cleaner. If you've ever seen me, the self-propelled Tenneco vacuum cleaner. And if you haven't heard me talk about that, go check out on my website, adornbyjennifer.com. At the top, at the end, says blog, and it has my Amazon favorite things. It's just a sampler of some of my Amazon favorite things. I did that for the Amazon days. But my favorite purchase of all time, of all things, not just Amazon, is the Tenneco vacuum. And everybody asked me for the bottle number and the make. And honestly, I have bought so many of the Tenneco vacuums because the battery life dies frequently on those things. And I'm so confused that I just say, go to my blog, click the thing that says Tenneco vacuum. You have to click on the specific word Tenneco vacuum. Here goes my hair again, sorry. Oh man, that did not work. I'm going to have to pull this up. Good thing I'm right by my junk drawer. Just keep listening, but click on that. And when you click on it, whatever literally pops up, if you just click add to cart, that is the exact one. I don't even try to say what model, make, number it is. I'm going to wash my hands too because I'm going to be a good hostess and not gross everybody out. So keep listening. I'm going to talk while I just wash my hands real quick. That is the one. I'm not going to even try to memorize model numbers and all that stuff because I confuse myself and I'm dyslexic and I'm going to give you the wrong number and then you're going to be mad at me and then I'm going to feel like I need to reimburse you money, and I'm not going to do that because I lost money trying to make my website because I was so excited trying to share y'all the goods. So long story short, just click on the word and we'll go from there. But one of my other favorite products, why I just went around the whole bush trying to say all that, is this is another favorite item. This is the Mueller chopper. I've done several choppers. This is a really good one. But this comes with a whole variety. I've already used several of them today, so this is what's left. This is the Julian. I don't use this shape one very often, but I do use the chunky one and I use the Dyson one. Oop, I've got a few more to do. I'm going to chop these real quick. But I tried to chop all these earlier so I don't blow your ears up when you're listening to me. But as you can see, that's all you do. And look, I've already chopped up the bushel, the stalk, whatever you call it, the whole jumbo thing of celery. And my kids don't like trying to hide the fact that I have an entire bushel stalk. I'm coming. I'm back. If that happens again, just stay tight because I'm coming back. It's just the connection. I think it's because we just got a foot and more of snow. And so it's windy outside and the snow's flying around. It's already starting to melt. So if that happens again, just stay tight. But look, there's all my beautifully chopped in these perfect little squares. This works really great with onions too. But I usually, oh, don't touch my face. Sorry. I'm not aware of it until I'm watching myself on my phone. But then you just dump. And voila, the chopping couldn't be easier. I use the larger chopper thing with my potatoes because I like those when I'm doing like a stew or something. Oh, I didn't even tell you what I'm making here. It's called Plaza 3 steak soup. And I don't actually even use steak in it, but my sister-in-law gave me this recipe. I'm coming back. I'm still talking to you. As a wedding gift, and it's one of my husband's favorite recipes. This was a larger grid. Do you see that? So I like the potatoes to be a little chunkier, and these are just, they all come in this nice little doodah, and it's this easy. Now I will say I have a different style of chopper, and the other one came with this nice little cleaner, and I like this. This one didn't come with that. I do like to thrift a lot, and so I actually kept this from my old one. And when you thrift, sometimes you see this in the like utensil area. I'd recommend this, but you can also use like a fork, or, you know, you can use other things, a toothpick to clean it. But I do find that cleaning it is helpful. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can use this to kind of get in there and not use your fingers and cut yourself. But I just want to show you how easy it is to, I see things popping up, but I think it's my own things that say check out adornbyjennifer.com for links for products. But those are for my products, like my jewelry. Those are not for, well, actually these products are linked. I think these products are linked under my blog if you want to see it. But this is literally how easy it is to click to pull those out, and then there's a blank, and then you can swap in the other one. So they're really easy to put in and out. Now that I'm upside down, it's kind of hard to do, but when you just look and see the shape and you just literally just click it in. It's that easy. And then when you go to wash them, I click all of these out. And the reason why I usually use all this stuff, I touched my face again. But why I do these, I try to do like, so today I'm doing my soup, and because I have my chopper out, I like to throw it in the dishwasher. I don't like to hand wash it because I feel like the heat gets a lot hotter. Oh, see, I'm doing it and I'm cleaning. This is why I like to get in there. Do you see all the onion? And actually, I'm not doing onion right now. I'm doing celery. But do you see all the guts that are kind of coming out? You don't want it to get dirty. I'm all about using cool utensils that are helpful. I don't like using unnecessary utensils like my floor cleaner, but I'm all about cleaning them well because it grosses me out to have things not taken care of properly, and it makes them last longer. But you just clean it out like this with this little tool, and you get all this stuff. And I'm all about maximizing and being a good steward of the resources God's given us. And so look at, oh, it just flew out on the ground. But look at all this yummy food that we can just pop into our crock pot. So we can still use all this stuff, even though it's kind of shredded and looks crazy. this is good food. We can still use it, even though it's kind of shredded, but we can get almost a whole mouthful of good food right here. I won't tell my family I do that, but look, that's all the just stuff that got jammed in the little lever parts. So at the end, I will do that. Now, I'm also going to show you, but oh, I kind of hit squirrel there again. I typically do this when I make 2 or 3 recipes. And so I like maximizing using this tool because it does take some space in the dishwasher, and I don't like running the dishwasher needlessly. Sorry, there goes my laundry machine. Again, I like maximizing things, so I got different things going on today. So, okay, so there goes that. I have actually chopped several things in advance, so I am done with Mr. Chopper. When I put it in the dishwasher, I do it upside down like that. I also run water through it, so I'm going to take it to my sink and run water through it and kind of spray it at every angle so it's mostly clean, and then I will put it in the dishwasher. But because this takes the majority of my upper deck of my dishwasher, I try to make salsa today. I'll try to make soup. I'll try to make several things for the week so I don't have to keep using this device and have to use my dishwasher multiple times. So if that makes sense, maybe you're not a maximizer, but I value that. The other thing that I like to do is I prepare onions. If you follow me, you will see this. And if you don't follow me, please follow me. Okay, here's another... Oh, I didn't get the little hair back. But here's another thing about Adorn by Jennifer. This is I'm following a squirrel, but personal things you can apply and say, will you be my friend? And the person gets to decide, yes, I'll be your friend. No, I won't be your friend. But businesses, you can kind of watch our stuff and kind of freeload, and that's fine. But it means the world to us as people that are making this stuff, that if you follow, it gives us access to different tools, and it does different things for us. So that means the world to us if you just hit follow. So it takes one extra step to go to our page and click follow, and it will change it from follow to following. Please, please, please do that. I unashamedly beg you to do that because probably 90% of my viewers are not following, and it would make the world of difference to me. So please just, after I'm done, just go over, click, see if you're following, and if you're not, click it so it changes to following. Okay, but if you followed me for any time, or if you've watched me for any time, you know that I make my onions every 6 months, and I prep them in 1-cup bags. And I know, again, this doesn't save the environment, but I don't wash my tools as often, so that does save a little bit. But I prep them in my onion chopper 6 months at a time. It is the stinkiest mess. Makes my hands stink for about 2 days, but I don't have to mess with any of this junk for 6 months. So I prep them. They've been frozen. I've had them sitting on my counter, and all I do is open and dump. So this makes this step of the recipe the easiest ever. Then I seal it up. One other thing is when I freeze it in my freezer, I double, triple seal it in containers so it doesn't make my whole freezer stink. But if I can be totally transparent, it still makes my freezer stink a little bit. And so I entertain a ton. So I have a freezer in the house, I have a freezer in the garage, and I actually have a freezer in the basement. And my smallest, tiniest freezer is where I store those onions so I don't taint other food. So truth be told, it is stinky. So full transparency. I also do the same for my meat. My hamburger meat, I store in 1 to 1.5 pound bags so I can make all kinds of things at the drop of a hat. And so for 6 months, it's inconvenient for about 3 hours, and I make 6 months worth of prepared meat. Some people will say, well, doesn't that make it lose its flavor? I've never noticed. But if you want to be really particular, would you prefer to be able to make food really easy for 6 months, or would you prefer to have a little extra flavor for 6 months? I personally think that it's very convenient to have it ready. So this is all prepared, ready to go. I open, I dump. This recipe calls for beef bouillon, so I just can add a little extra if you really think that it's missing some flavor. But voila, seal it up so it doesn't stink in the trash. My other tip is I always keep a trash can right next to me in my kitchen so that I don't have to walk all over the place or have a dirty kitchen. Another tip is it calls for beef bouillon. And I grew up using the little cubes of beef bouillon. I also, when I first got married, it would say beef broth. I would buy the box of broth, or I would buy broth and then it would go bad and I hated wasting it. I find that buying the beef bouillon and the chicken bouillon that's already ground is super easy and super convenient because it just dissolves very quickly. I get a big 4-cup Pyrex and I fill it with four cups. This recipe calls for 3 to 4 beef bouillon. I always go for more for the flavor. And then I get a Dollar Tree little, whatever this thing is called because my brain's not working. And I just give it a little swizzle. And I add this at the very end once all my ingredients are there so that it kind of marinates. The water kind of goes on top so it can kind of keep everything warm. So I'm going to put that to the side. But the little Dollar Tree thing works really good in the dishwasher as well, and it doesn't have a problem. So I bought like 5 or 6 of those because they're super handy. I like how tiny they are. They don't take a lot of dishwasher space. So I'm going to look at my recipe. I've got the bouillon, I've got the water, I've got the onion, I've got the celery. I did not have chopped carrots. I did not have carrots for some reason. We must have finished them and I didn't realize it. So what do? You pivot. And I had a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. So we're going to just throw a bag of frozen mixed vegetables because a little green bean in there is not going to hurt us. And it's going to give us more veggies. And it's going to expand my, oh, that trash is handy again. It's going to expand the volume of my soup. So it's going to expand my leftovers this week. So I'm not going to have to cook as much. We got a crazy week this week. Okay, so I've already put in the can 2 cans of tomatoes, but I did petite tomatoes. It calls for 1 teaspoon of pepper, and the pepper really makes a difference in this. So don't skimp. And for some reason, wouldn't I know that I just ran out of pepper? So this is brand new pepper. So good timing. I'm opening a brand new pepper on camera. That's good timing. I'm being generous and doing a little more than 1 teaspoon of pepper. This is also handy when I pour my bouillon in a minute, that it will kind of help it melt down in a second. Oh, I forgot. It calls for a 10-ounce bag of frozen vegetables and it says mixed veggies, so we're already on that. Carrots happen to be in there. And then it calls for 1 pound of ground beef. We already have that. It says browned and drained. Don't have to worry about that. And it says 1 potato. Well, I added 10, so we're good to go. Now we're going to add the beef broth. We're going to throw that on top. And I'm kind of putting it all over the place because, again, I'm trying to have it kind of mix all the pepper, let the pepper go down in there, and then I'm going to cover it. And it should simmer for a couple of hours. I'm a little late to the game because I'm a Czech savvy sister and I was really enjoying Debbie's private group thing today, and so I didn't want to get off. I think somebody would be grossed out if I put that in there. I didn't chop very nicely, so I'm not going to be too frugal and put that in there. We're going to let the kids escape on that one. Okay, I'm almost done with that soup, but I'm going to let that do its thing for probably 2 or 3 hours. Again, I'm a little late to the game, but I did have the potatoes cooking. They're really the slowest thing in that recipe. But the secret to this thing is not what I just did. Actually, the secret, I got to get a drink because I told you I'm kind of struggling this week. The secret, I got another thought. Here I'm having another squirrel moment. But the secret is the root. But in the meantime, I got to tell you, there are so many water bottles out there. Has anybody noticed the whole wide range of prices of water bottles? I got to sit down too. I'm kind of getting weak. I asked yesterday if anybody struggles with weather changes and nobody commented. So maybe I'm the only person that struggles with weather changes, but these storms, when they roll in, they knock me out. Maybe I'm the only one, but I really struggle. I can't stand up very long. I ache like crazy and it knocks me out. And then when it's 60 degrees in 2 days, seems like I would be jumping for joy, but that knocks me out too. So maybe I'm the only one that struggles with this stuff, but the girls struggling over here. I put makeup on to just try to pretend like I'm feeling good, but whew, my girl got to sit down for a hot second. But my girls last year were obsessed about Stanleys, and all they could do was talk about Stanleys. So my parents very kindly, when they came to visit, bought them Stanley cups, and they thought they were the cat's meow. They were so excited until this year they learned what an Awala was. Or maybe it was last year. I'm getting my years confused. But then they were obsessed with Awalas. It's like, from the parents' perspective, I'm convinced. Does anybody notice this? It's like Awalas is, I didn't even know what an Awala was, but it's like a koala, but Awala. And I'm convinced that these water bottles have become like status symbols at school. Like if you don't have an Awala, you're not much or something. But as a parent, I am distressed that they're spending more on a water bottle than I do on a pair of shoes. Is anybody tracking with me with this? Like, I just have a moment to vent while my body's breaking down here. As the mom, I find that I go to Hobby Lobby, and 4 or 5 years ago, I bought this water bottle. I have one other water bottle that was probably 6 or 8 years ago. I have 2 water bottles. I carry them with me at all times, and I think they were between $10 and maybe $15, which made me choke to spend that much on a water bottle. But they keep my water perfectly cold, ice over 24 hours. I am so content with them, and I don't understand why people spend so much money on a water bottle. Let's spend it on jewelry. That's just my personal theory. I'm so happy to spend a lot of money on jewelry, but on a water bottle? Okay, that's my rant. Am I the only person like that? Or am I in left field? Okay, I feel a little better. I just had to get that off my chest. Sit down for a moment. Now, the rest of my story about what makes a soup so good. And I had to touch my hair again. You're getting me in my moment of weakness here. But what makes this soup so good is something that makes me feel like I'm some master chef-S or something. Is that even a word, a chef-S? We have a famous internet sensation chef that goes to our church named Chef Billy Parisi. If you don't follow him, you should look him up on all the socials. He has like 1 million followers, which to me, I don't even understand how that works when I'm like begging people to just hit click follow on my, I'll tag him so you guys can just click follow for him because he's amazing. And I think it's so important that we all support each other out there. So I'll click him, but he is a real chef. But when I say this word, it's going to make me feel like I'm cool, like Chef Billy Parisi. But it's called a roux. I'm going to show you how this works. I have it prepared, but I'm not going to do it until this crock pot simmers for like 2 more hours. But a roux is when you get approximately 1 stick of butter. I put it in a Pyrex like this. It's 2 cups. I like a larger one, not a little one, because when I put it in the microwave, which is probably an example of why I'm not a real chef, because they probably don't even use microwaves. But I like it because when it melts down, if it splatters, it doesn't get all over my microwave. And I'll probably put a paper towel over it too. But you only put it in for like 15 seconds, 20, 30 max, because you're going to explode it. But you melt your butter, and then you get a spoon, and 1 spoonful at a time. I have 1 spoon that I put the spoon in, and then I stir. And then you just get another spoonful. You keep them separate so you don't get like the flour all over the spoon. And once you stir and then you redip, then you get a big hunk of, do you know what I'm talking about? But so you have one that you're stirring, and then, or you could just add a little bit at a time. But you don't add the whole, what is this? Half cup. You don't add the whole half cup at once. You just stir a little bit at a time. Stir it, add a little bit more, stir it, add a little bit more, stir it. And you keep doing that until you empty your 1/4 cup. But you just do a little bit at a time, and you'll have this beautiful, creamy, yumminess, it will taste disgusting, but you just add it a little at a time. Then once you get this beautiful mixture of beautiful consistency, then you add it to your soup and you stir it in really good. And then you let it cook for like 2 more hours. And then it's going to create this yummy deliciousness that thickens up, and it is glorious. It's honestly glorious, more glorious on day 2. So I highly recommend this recipe. It is phenomenal. I will try to do a screenshot. It's in my sister-in-law, Sally Terrell's darling handwriting, and I just love it to death. So it was a wedding gift, and it's so precious to me, and so I really appreciate it. So anyway, if you missed the roux, it is not going to be a fabulous recipe. You have to do the roux, and you have to have the potatoes cook long enough so that they're not hard and crunchy, because that you miss the point. So those 2 things are really important. The other thing is I think presentation makes it taste even yummier. I'm all about presentation, not so much about cooking, but I found these darling little, I couldn't even say potato or tomato earlier, so I'm really going to forget the name. Is it what do you call these things? It doesn't say, so I don't even know. But look at these darling little, what are these things called? Pumpkins. But it's not a cachet. It's not a craft. What are these things called? But it's like a little soup tureen. So tonight, they were on clearance even. I think regularly they were close to $7 at Walmart. And I was just there after Halloween, and they were $3.50. So I got a little set, and we're going to do this, but just wait. So I like making pretty tablescapes. So when I moved into the house, I was gifted this beautiful Delamar Spode, which is just, sings for my heart. And then I got these on clearance after the summer at Hobby Lobby. Look how gorgeous these are with it. And then if you put this little cuteness, I think that just will make the soup taste so much better if you eat your cute little soup out of this. And if it takes you a little while to get to your soup, you put that cute little lid on it, and it makes it stay warm. Isn't that so cute? This hair's driving me nuts. The other thing, before I even have those little guys, I got a heart. I think I got a heart. Yay, thank you for interacting. Before I got those pumpkin things, I kind of forgot I already had these, but you know, a girl could never have enough carafes or crutches or whatever these things are called. But soup tureens. I got these at Goodwill years ago, and I still serve soup out of these. I like these when people come. And so these I think are so cute. Oh, I got hearts again. Thank you so much. But I had these already. So talk about cuteness. We're doing pumpkins tonight, totally, because I have to use my new little goods. But look how cute this is. Isn't that cute? We got cuteness going on. But one can never have enough sets of cuteness. So last year at Michael's, they were clearancing these cute plaid plates. And I am a sucker. I hope that's not a bad word, but I love all things majolica. If you've ever heard of majolica, it is bordallo. A lot of people call it bordeo or bordalo. It's known for a frog on the back of it. It's made in Portugal, but it's cabbageware. I am a sucker. Oh, Debbie Taylor, I know. Well, which one do you love? I see you say loving those. Which one do you love? But I love all things cabbageware, and anything. I showed a mug yesterday. It kind of had this green concept, but I love all things majolica from Portugal. But I love the green cabbageware. I love it. I've loved it since college. So for 25 years basically. And so I adore it. Anything cabbageware I love. And so look at how fun that is. And then with the Delamar little, I think I thrifted these, or maybe I think I thrifted those, but look at that yumminess. And then look at this yumminess. Yeah, that soup is going to taste really good. And then if you're in Kansas City or any of the surrounding states, that's where I'm from originally. I got these on clearance actually. And hey girls, I got these on clearance at Nell Hills, my favorite store in Kansas City. Big shout out to Nell Hills. Hope to get to see you in the holidays. But these kind of remind me of the Majolica Spode. It's not Bordallo, but it's the concept. And so isn't that cute? Kind of going with the concept. So if you like jewelry, well, I like jewelry, but if you like doing table skates for Thanksgiving, the concept, and these cute little pumpkin crafts, they are, they have them in different colors too. So if you like this, they have them in different colors. So last time I was at Walmart, if you're local, they had them in different colors there. I just bought the cream, and I didn't buy all of them because I was trying not to be too obnoxious. So go check it out. It was in the front on an end cap in the front of the store. Okay, so this is kind of getting long, and I am getting tired, so I need to wrap it up, Jennifer, here. But I'm bringing you along for what I was going to do anyway. My goal today, before I knew we were going to have a snow day, was to fulfill orders, because I got a bunch of orders. Thank you if you placed an order over the weekend, and I had a crazy busy weekend, so I didn't fulfill orders. Okay, before I make the salsa, wipe my hands off. This is going to be for my family. So, but I did not fulfill orders over the weekend. So I have a whole bunch of them. I'm so thankful for them. After this, I'm fixing to fulfill orders. So they're coming your way. Don't you worry. I'm not leaving you out if you made an order. But I'm going to make some salsa. Make sure the power's on. I always check. I killed my food processor probably by making too much salsa. Okay, before I put things in it, I make sure it's working so I don't make a mess and have to, but that's working very good. But I killed my food processor that we got when we got married, so now I use my blender. We don't like chunky things, but this recipe calls for whole tomatoes. I use the Walmart brand as well, the cheap. And I have used fresh tomatoes, but I like to blend them up first because we don't like the big. So I'm so sorry. It's going to be loud for a hot second. I'll try to go fast. Here we go. But after that, I don't like to, that was not smart. I don't like to blend things after that because I do like chunky. I just don't like big whole tomatoes in my salsa. So I don't blend after that very much until the end. But I just added the whole can of, what did I add? The whole can of tomatoes, the big extra large can. And then I did 2 cans, and it was supposed to be Rotel. But I'm trying out Aldi's brand of Rotel to see how that is. This is my taste test because I tend to actually shop mostly at Aldi. And one of the reasons why I like Aldi is like 1,000 reasons. I can do basically my entire week of shopping because, as you see, I do my meat basically 6 months at a time. And so I don't really have to shop for much meat every week. I usually buy chicken and my ground beef basically 6 months at a time, and my onions, as you know. And so I can do all of my grocery shopping in about 20 minutes. And I can usually do an entire week of grocery shopping, at least at this point in time, for about $100 for a family of 4. It's really economical. So I'm trying to get to the point where I just buy our groceries at Aldi because I really want to be cost effective. And like I said, I want to be a good steward of the resources that we have. And so, I do my best to just shop Aldi. I was going to Costco a lot, and I couldn't believe that every trip seemed to be over $100, and I couldn't believe how expensive it was. And so I just started pretty much exclusively going to Walmart. I do occasionally go to our local stores called Strax, and I do go to Walmart, as you could see by some of those cans, for certain things. But otherwise, pretty much Aldi. Now, this is the Pioneer Woman salsa recipe, and I change it slightly. It calls for like, what is it, a half cup of cilantro, and I don't like to waste the cilantro because I paid for the cilantro, so I basically do most of the bushel of cilantro, and for whatever reason my family likes it, so it just kind of pains me to pay for a whole bushel and to not use it. I guess that's the maximizing side of me. I try not to use a lot of the stems, but I don't take the time to actually even destem it because I kind of like the chunkiness of it. So I'm kind of leaving a lot today, but it's mostly stems. But there is some foliage. Aldi's great for produce, especially organic items. Great overall. That is true. And you know what? When I started, I didn't believe that, and I was kind of vocal about that. But as I have continued to go there, I have grown to really love Aldi. But there's a couple of tips that I would say, because I'm all about tips and tricks. Okay, here goes my onion. This also calls for a small onion. Is that what it says? I got to read the thing. A half cup of onion. This is definitely more than a half cup of onion, but I make all my bags the same thing, so I just dump it in, and it works because it's just what I do. And I don't like to waste it, so it's all going in. And I seal it so my trash isn't stinky because it's Monday and our trash comes on Friday, so I do not want stinky. And I am gonna waste my cilantro because I don't have any avocados or anything else that I'm going to use cilantro with. So today I'm going to be wasteful in that category because sometimes you just got to choose your battles. But I am not going to, oh no, they all fell on the floor. My cat is going to, too bad it's not catnip. My cat's going to be curious about that. But I try not to be legalistic to myself about just because I'm a maximizer doesn't mean I always have to be a maximizer. But more than not, I'm going to be a maximizer. If I forget to tell you about how to shop at Aldi about maximizing, remind me. But I got to stay focused so I don't forget an important ingredient here. So I did 2 cans of Aldi Rotel. I did the 1 can of 28 ounces of whole tomatoes that were peeled. I did basically an onion, the whole onion. I used this refrigerated garlic because I don't like messing with the whole thing, and I get the small container so it doesn't rot so quickly and it stays fairly fresh. 1 teaspoon is about 1 clove of garlic, and the recipe calls for 1 garlic, 1 clove. What did I just say? It's on the lid. 1 teaspoon. Whew, that's smelly. So I laid out it says 1 teaspoon. And I think sometimes too much garlic can be a little nasty. For some reason, I laid out the ½ teaspoon. I'm not sure why I did that. I tried to be organized so I didn't waste your time. But we're going to do a little heaping. It's a ½ teaspoon, and I'm doing a heaping amount. I don't like too much, so because it says 1 teaspoon, I did a little more than a half. So it's going to be less than 1 full because I don't like it to be too garlicky. So this is another best tip and trick. I think I get this at Straps. I'm not sure, but I think so. And that stays refrigerated. Okay. Lime juice is another tip and trick that I do. I do not buy real limes. I don't like to mess with all that, but I have found generic makes a difference. I don't like it. I tried to go cheap. Gross. So I buy a big container because we make salsa at least pretty much every week. And I do 3 tablespoons of this. And I find I'm pretty generous with it, but I knew I was almost out of it. So I have 1 more. So I do use the real lime. I use this. That makes a difference. So I had a backup. I always have a backup in my pantry. Because I know we love this so much, and I use this when I make guacamole. I do not have a recipe for my guacamole. Did you notice I shook it? I shook it. I recommend shaking it because the stuff settles in the bottom, and especially since I just opened it. Whew, here it goes. But I only need a little tiny bit because, whew, that's splashed on my lips. Did you see me lick my lips? It's tart. I use this for guacamole too. But I always have something on backup. But I mean, it takes a hot minute to go through that whole bottle. But I do recommend that. And then, let's see, lime juice, cilantro. We already did that. A quarter cup. No, not cup. Ooh, daisies. No, not a cup. Quarter teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is magicness when you make anything Mexican. I go generous. Do you see I went a little very generous. It smells divine if you like Mexican food. I've gone through this whole thing. It's probably taken 13 years of marriage to get through this whole container, but I'm almost out. So that will be a momentous moment to mark our marriage, that if I finish this whole container, but it smells glorious. I often forget this step because it's the last step, and sometimes I just don't think about it, but this is legit. This is important. I also get this at Aldi. I don't know if this is Aldi brand Stone Mill or not, but I get spices at Aldi because they're super cheap. I keep my spice drawer right next to my stove. Oh, I kept something else to let you know. Another tip and trick. This is one set, well, actually it's multiple sets, of many sets of my measuring cups. When I cook, as you can see, I like to make multiple recipes and have them prepped for the week because cooking is not my favorite thing. And I like to get my kitchen dirty like once or twice a week and have everything prepped so that I don't have to waste time because I'm a maximizer. I don't like to waste time cleaning my kitchen. So I would prefer to clean my kitchen once a week, twice a week, having the big overhaul, using all of my tools, cleaning them once, and then not having to mess with it. So I have like 4 or 5 sets of measuring devices. I've also found that when they're engraved, it's much better than the cheapo kind where it's printed because the more you wash them, the more they scratch off. These ones have been okay, but I highly recommend having multiple sets of measuring tools. That's good for if you know somebody newly getting married. If they are a maximizing personality like yours truly, I like to have lots of teaspoon sets, lots of tablespoon sets, lots of measuring cups. They don't take a lot of space. You can stack them within themselves, and it comes in handy like today when I have lots of wets, lots of dry things that I'm measuring that I don't want to reuse. Then that comes in handy so that I don't have to keep rinsing things out or drying things. Okay, and so we've done cumin, we've done cilantro, we've done lime juice, right? If I'm missing anything, tell me. We've done cumin, cilantro, lime juice. We have not done salt, and we have not done sugar. We've done garlic, we've done onion, we've done the tomatoes, and we've done rotel. So sugar, this is where I change it up. And I do not put peppers like the original Pioneer Woman. And she gets full credit. This is not my recipe. And I also give my shout out to my friend locally that gave this suggestion to me. She calls for, what does she call for? A teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar. And I just put a tablespoon in. So we adjusted it. And I don't put a full tablespoon of salt, but I put a half a tablespoon. I definitely go more generous on the sugar than the salt because the chips have salt in it, but the sugar I think is what is the molecule that brings it all together. The other thing is I make this in advance so that it can stay refrigerated because I really think the refrigeration, at least 3 to 4 hours, is what really brings everything together. So if you notice, I haven't blended it this whole time. Now is when I blend it. Sorry, I got to drink again. I'm just tired and my body still is just not working for me today. But now is when I blend it, and I really only do 1 or 2 blends. I like it a little chunky, so there's a little texture. But everybody has such personal preferences on salsa, so you can do what your family likes. So I'm going to blend it. It's going to be noisy, and then I do a taste test, and usually this is when my whole family starts showing up because they all like to give the taste test, and we all will have bad breath for the rest of the week. So this is how we do our thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Today, I really didn't even know I was going to go live because we're having a snow day, and I don't think anything I'm wearing is actually even on my website, but I will say adornbyjennifer.com has a ton of things for Christmas. So if I can encourage you to go check it out, now is a fabulous time to check things out for Christmas. Great stocking stuffers. There's fun things for kids, even clip-on earrings, which are fun little stocking stuffers for kids. And thanks for tuning in. So if you have any questions, I have 4 sets of each. Oh, Erica, yeah, the best tip, yeah, for measuring cups and teaspoons and tablespoons. It's fabulous. And I actually, this is, I'm going to show you something, and I wasn't prepared, so it's not organized. I shouldn't be showing you. I'm going to second guess this in a minute, but I'm going to show you something. It's not organized and it's falling off the wall. It's kind of, here, I got to fix a little. I need to fix because my stickers are all falling off and it's not full. I'm looking at it and it's really kind of embarrassing, but you're getting the real deal with me because it's a snow day and this is, you're getting authentic Adorn by Jennifer. Here, I'm going to switch it around so you can see it. This is a hot mess, but that's empty. But I'm using a lot of them right now, and I even have multiples. Look, they're all kind of hanging down. But this is how when they're washed, you can see a lot are missing. But I have my tablespoons, teaspoons are all. This has been we've been here 8 years, so it's all kind of rolling. But I know what they all are. But I have hooks, so I have multiple things. The half teaspoons are hanging here. And so I've got all of these. These are my little cups I just was showing you. They actually don't belong here. I have lovely helpers that put my dishes away, and I'm doing cleaning right now. Girl, yeah, you're getting real life. My girls are my dishwasher. They, if you've got a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, other than an occasional moment, you should never have to unload your dishwasher. They are completely capable of unloading your dishwasher as long as you're willing to have this real life moment where you see that they are not doing it correctly and you need to clean it out every once in a while. You should never have to unload your dishwasher because they are totally capable. When we moved into this house, I had a 1-year-old and 3-year-old, and they were unloading the dishwasher. Ooh, that's a good idea. I'm short, girl, so mine are in the drawer, but that's smart to do by each measurement. Yeah, you could even, in a drawer, maybe you could do it. I don't know. You could maybe have little, I shouldn't show you this, but I'm totally, you're seeing the authentic, okay. This is a hot mess, but you can see we've got Chipotle napkins everywhere. So you're seeing the hot mess, but there's drawers for everything. So I'm embarrassed, but again, the kids are doing this. So I give them full freedom because then I don't have to unload the dishwasher, but straws, everything has a place. And so it should look better than this. But again, I don't micromanage because then I don't have to unload the dishwasher. But it is handy here, I'm cleaning it as I go. I'm like, this won't do. But, and even this did not pass inspection. Oh dear. But, it is handy that it should look like this. Give me 2 minutes and I'll get it looking better. But even with your teaspoons, if you had these are Dollar Tree, or actually, truth be told, sometimes Walmart is cheaper than Dollar Tree nowadays because it's $1.25 and Walmart is actually cheaper. But you could have your teaspoons in this one. You could have I don't know how many drawers you guys have, but you could have, if that's easier, you could have all your things like that. But again, that was maybe TMI. I wasn't planning on opening my drawers for you, but we have that, and then this, and then we have it should be organized like this, where each set of measuring cups should be here. So I can just, as we're cooking, we can grab things out and have it accessible. So, like I said, wasn't planning on showing you that little detail, but you're getting the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, because I was real with you, will you be real with me and go hit follow Adorn by Jennifer? Because we're just being real with each other, and I need y'all to follow me. So there we go, being all real with y'all today. So happy snow day. Amen. Sometimes you just see the most random things in different cabinets. My kids have been doing dishwasher. Yeah. So, okay. Dishwasher since 18 months too. So we are with you on the process and do not exact standards because that I'm more OCD, but thankful for the help. You're not alone. Thanks for sharing and being real. Yeah. That's, we don't look for perfection, but it's just part of being a family member is, you know, you eat, you will move the dishwasher. And they fold laundry. Actually, currently I have laundry going and there's laundry baskets. And okay, so now I'm starting to preach because I don't feel good and you're getting TMI, but, I am totally into realness, Miss Debbie, and you're getting the real dealio, especially when I don't feel good. You're getting way more than you're paying for right now. But no matter what the age, even if they're toddling around, all kids can help with chores around the house, even with clothes. They can help you put towels in a pile, and they can be part of the laundry process. Every person in the house can participate. It's good for ownership. And the reality, though, is the OCD-ness I'm talking about from myself has to be released because it is guaranteed that most likely when they're young, it will not be done with perfection. Even if you ask your spouse to help, it will not be done with perfection, most likely. But having everybody have ownership in it is a healthy thing. Not having it hit on one person alone is a healthy thing. And it's very important that everybody has some skin in the game and learns responsibility and realizes that it's a family experience. You all live in the house and you're all part of the family. So you're getting a little preaching from Adorn by Jennifer, not just cooking and not just gabbing and crafting and jewelry. You're getting a little of mama today, but it's done in love and you can make it fun. And one thing that I will say is that I have taught my girls since they were born, with obedience comes blessing, with disobedience comes punishment. And when you obey and when you work hard, blessing comes. So guess what they get to do? When they fold laundry, not always, but when they fold laundry and do it well, they get to watch TV, as long as they're folding laundry and not just watching TV, as long as they are being productive and they're not just watching TV. So guess what? They like to fold laundry. They enjoy folding laundry because they get to watch TV when they fold laundry. And then when they're done folding laundry, a lot of times the TV goes off. So guess what? They're motivated to fold laundry. So it's called strategic parenthood. So anyway, oh, sister Jennifer, you are sweet, but little did you realize the potatoes went in and I had not showered yet. So the first part of cooking was definitely not pretty looking. The camera just was not on during that part. So that's very complimentary, but do not be, I can't even think of the word. I don't know if you were on when I started, but I could not even think of potato and potato. And now I can't think of the word. Do not be fooled by what you see, because earlier today, it was not beautiful. But I am getting very goofy right now, and I'm going to say some very crazy things, and I realize that I am on social media and anyone can see this. So I'm going to sign off right now. But please hit follow and share if you like, because this is a weird video today, and you're getting the good, the bad, and the ugly. Adorn by Jennifer. But thanks for tuning in. Try to keep it real. Try to be encouraging to you, and hope you have a great day. If you're in Northwest Indiana, enjoy the gorgeous snow because I think it's going to melt by later this week, and we'll enjoy the beautiful trees because they're still gorgeous. Ta-ta! Go check out Adorn by Jennifer. See you later.